The concept from dope started out while I was working in another barbershop, and I always wanted my own place to be more rather of a concept rather than just be Vince Cortez Barbershop. There's a million of those, and I wanted to stand out from everybody else. So I was always thinking, what is the best way to describe the cuts that we did in our shop? And the word we kept coming back to was dope, because every time somebody would get up out of their chair, they would say, man, that is a dope cut, man. Or somebody would pull up in a nice car and be like, that's a dope ride, or those are dope shoes you got on. So I always just kept coming back to that word, and I think it embodied everything that we do as far as doing haircuts or doing kind of our styles was be dope, and it just kind of ran with it there. And all of these sayings that came to me, dope sells itself, or be dope, or act dope, stay dope. I always envisioned more of a place where the urban hip-hop kid can come in and feel comfortable, as well as a guy that makes $400,000 a year. So we wanted something that kind of did what that the real edgy cuts, all the way up to just a gentleman's cut where this guy's gonna go into a board meeting. That was my whole kind of idea for this place. It was more industrial kind of look, more manly stuff, from woods, bricks, metals, anything that had to do with something like that you felt you came in here and you knew it was manly, you felt comfortable like that, but you also looked around and you were like, man, this place is really cool. Every barber that I brought in because they were some of the best barbers that I've seen, that I've worked with. So I was fortunate enough to be able to handpick these guys to bring them in and kind of represent our brand. And these guys were all at the top of their game in the barber industry here in the Valley. These guys can do any cut across the board, and that was a big deal. I've been in other shops where somebody can do a really good fade, but they couldn't do a scissor cut, or they could do really good scissor cuts, but they couldn't do a skin fade. These guys can do everything from across the spectrum, and a lot of these guys are hard to get in with just because they have so much clientele. And when you sit in their chair, you can definitely see the difference rather than going to some other barbershop or something like that. These guys have invested in their craft. They are constantly working on being educated in the industry. And it was more of a mindset for me too, that I wanted these guys that had the same goals and the same ambitions that I did, coming in. All these guys want their own shop, and I'm trying my hardest to help them achieve that, just like I was helped along the way. I see, myself and them, guys that come in here and they're here, before we open, they're here till, after we close. You have to be motivated in this industry and be hungry to not only be one of the best barbers around, but to be successful. I was told, a lot of advice is like, once you open your own shop, it doesn't get easier, it gets harder. And you have to be the hardest worker in the room to make sure that you're gonna be successful, because nobody else is gonna help you out along the way to do that. You gotta be the one that's gonna be here early, gonna stay late, to make sure that, this is your brand, and this is, a reflection on yourself. So the people that I wanna see, that look at me, I want them to see, man, this guy, not only, are they successful, but he's a hard-working dude. I'm very appreciative for Riley's being interested in our story, because I think it's such a great story, and I think it goes hand in hand to what they're doing. The blue-collar, hard-working kind of guys that want to get out there, and they're going to struggle, they're going to hit some ups and downs, but they're always going to be at the top of their game and be hungry for more.